title. The men's distance medley records here that you see, the DMR as it's called, University of Arkansas. Boy, have they got some of the greatest performances ever done in this event, Craig, or what?
It's tremendous, and you notice that there's a difference between the Arkansas American record and the championship record. Can't have an American record with a foreigner on the team. So
good point. It's true.
That American record was an all-U.S. team. They have a strong team here, and we've been talking team title all along. Very close as we come down to the last two events. Arkansas freshman Seneca Lassiter will lead them off.
Great high school story. And he ran extraordinarily well in high school, running under 4:10 for the mile. And of course, great milers seem to gravitate to Arkansas and John McDonnell's program. I love the story of McDonnell. He came from Ireland in the goal, and he had a job when he came here to be a TV cameraman for the Soupy Sales Show back in 1969. And here he wins the winningest college coach in NCAA championship history. What a transition.
In any sport. Used to cover some Mets games for WOR in New York. Center field camera.
And he got out of television and really got successful, right?
Maybe a cue to us, Larry.
I guess. Where's our future, Craig? 800 meters, 400 meters, and then the equivalent of 3/4 of a mile. These are all within tenths of the full distance. If you remember the old DMRs, when it was an imperial distance, these are almost the exact same distances that they are running.
We saw in the women's race what a big difference the leadoff leg can make. A good solid lead off of the 800 meters. The other teams can never make up the distance.
Harry Sloan for Tennessee pulling everybody along. That's Jeremy Stallings from the University of Florida pressing him. The rest of the field closing in here. It's going to be congestion when this baton is passed off, and they will have a lap to go after they come by here again. 1 to go as the signal is given.
We talked about the team title, and look at the man in green, Alex Morgan. We've already seen him in the 800 meters scoring big points for George Mason. Mason has teams in both the distance medley relay and the 4x400 meter relay. Arkansas, tied with them after 14 events, only has a team in this event, the distance medley.
And unless they drop batons here and both teams do well, it will be George Mason, the new NCAA champion. Speaking of that, well, we got an interesting race on our hands here.
I think you have a future as a soothsayer, Larry. Forget the coaching.
My goodness. A little adrenaline flowing there.
And actually not as damaging as it might have been for George Mason, because if you think of it, all they need to do is finish ahead of Arkansas.
Matt Klima with 1 lap to go in 400 meters. Let's take a look at this again. We're talking about championships at stake here. The goal of all these runners. He turned his head too soon, didn't watch for the exchange, and that made the difference. Watch his head turn. Didn't have it. Looked like a little soccer practice going on there to try and keep it on the track. Klima holding everybody off. Here comes Eastern Michigan and the University of Michigan. Michigan is second. Now it is Eastern Michigan in second place. Boy, losing ground on that exchange right then, the 400-meter leg, was George Mason. They are right now in 7th place, 8th place.
Chris Bueller, please report to the head table.
That looks like Ibrahim Aden to me over there, and he is a 4-minute miler. We're going to take a look and see what he does. Can George Mason bring themselves back up to get some important points here? There is Ibrahim Aden. He has already made up some ground, but there are 5 teams in front of him. We'll be right back. Holding fourth, Michigan, with a great time that's just tenths of a second behind the fastest time run this year, which is by Nebraska, now in second place. And you're looking at number 290 in second place for Michigan. That is Scott McDonald. Ibrahim Aden in the green is in third. Now he's in fourth. That's Tony Cozy from Tennessee pulling up. Kiptar is trying to hold on, and they're about to pass off for the 1,600 meters, the equivalent of the mile run, and everybody is full bore. Look how close these results are here with 1 leg to go in the distance medley relay. Nebraska in the lead. And their Hungarian star, who everybody says is great, and he and Kiptaris have run great legs all year, Balázs Toglisi is right now pulling everybody along and has gone out very hard. Quick turnover here leg-wise. He's certainly under 60 seconds, Greg.
He's going out quickly because he knows what's coming behind. The man with the big M on his chest, Kevin Sullivan, the Canadian, finalist at the World Championships in the 1500 meters a year ago. And look who's right behind him, the winner of the mile tonight.
Oh, jeez. This is great stuff.
Julius
This is great stuff. Achen's already run. Sullivan in front is fit. I shouldn't say fit. He's fresh, but he has had Achilles tendon problems this year. But look at the lead right now that Nebraska holds. Second place right now is Tennessee. Their anchor leg being run by Nate Weston. And number 6 in the world, we're talking about Kevin Sullivan, is in third place with a future star who's already run the mile right behind him. This could be a dandy finish. As we come up here, we have about 5 laps to go. They've completed 3 so far. Sullivan moves into second place. There you see the 5,000 meters. Jason Cassiano from Wisconsin. Our congratulations to him on a 25-second last 200 meters to take home the victory. There you see him, and that is Patrick Kiptum from Oklahoma State in second place. And Godfrey Siamusi is in third. And look at Siamusi try and close.
Cassiano came in with the fastest time this year. Coach Martin Smith, though, teaches good kicking and savvy strategy to his runners. And it was that jump he made with a lap to go in the big 25-second last lap that gave Cassiano the victory.
Back at the distance medley relay, we have a little more than 800 meters to go. They're trying to rein in a man who has run close to 4 minutes this year. This is a terrific challenge for 2 of the best 1,500-meter milers in the world who are in second and third place. As Balazs Toglisi from Hungary and Nebraska is holding fourth and has, I would say, about a 15 to 18-yard lead. Julius Achen is now in second place as he tries to tow along his George Mason team, and Kevin Sullivan, ranked 6th in the world at 1,500 meters, is right behind him.
And if they catch Toglisi, it's going to be all Achen who did the work. Achen may just win the race for Michigan because he's the one that's doing the work to close the gap up to Toglisi as it's less than 2 laps to go. A big distance to make up.
Monstrous. And I don't think they'll get there. I really don't. But let's see.
Well, Toglisi doesn't look as smooth and as full of run as they do, but they may have left it just too late, Larry.
But I think it's a huge margin. This guy is a superb runner. I mean, he is truly outstanding. He's run 4:02 this year, and he's struggling a bit. But let's see what happens. He's already run earlier.
We've got 2 guys behind him who are going to run close to 3:50 for the mile this summer.
1 to go.
They may have spotted him just too much, though.
Here comes Julius Achen, and he's sprinting. Toglisi is struggling up in the front. Kevin Sullivan holding on for maybe a 50-meter sprint finish.
Watch Sullivan off the last turn. This is what he specializes in, getting up on the shoulder of the other athletes and then using those little mincing strides to go by.
Here comes the finish, and it's Sullivan. Achen, who's going to get to the wire first? Nebraska by a step. Sensational finish. 9:32. What time? This is unbelievable time as Eastern Michigan crosses the line in fourth. What a sensational finish to the distance medley relay.
Just over 3:57 for Sullivan's mile, but all credit to the Nebraska team. We talked about it earlier. It's so hard to run from the front. Toglisi did it right. He spent himself early, got the big lead, and used guts to hang on. Sullivan with his classic finish, but it was just too late.
Our congratulations to Nebraska, Michigan, and George Mason for a brilliant, brilliant performance in the distance medley. Few have ever run faster. When we come back, the 4x400 meter action is up.